Anyone who truly wants to live a life of being God-possessed, represented by the open hand, rather than ego-possessed, represented by the clenched fist, must understand that it's inevitable they will, or God will, by the nature of their spiritual practice and their self-understanding, and because of the nature of not wanting to live as ego, but from the heart, wishing to transcend all that egoic nonsense, they must understand that they will, if not immediately, well, it is immediate really, be divorced from egoic life and all the patternings, all the click-clack of conditional life, all the mummery of conditional life. This must be understood, that it's like oil and water, the two just do not mix. Once you've realized that ego is this activity, then you'll be giving up positions in life, status in life, image in life. It all vanishes, it all goes because of your love for real God, for your love of this open-handed disposition. My teacher Adida gave me away as if it was a wedding. Yesterday I was asked, well, how does one arrive here? What is the secret? But for me, it was simple devotion, straightforward, heart-moved devotion. He simply said, your attention can go anywhere. If you wish to be God-realized, if you wish for the body-mind to be lived and possessed by God, this spirit, if you wish to be reborn, if you wish to be only happy, no matter what is arising, and love and intimate and joy, all the wonderful qualities that God is. If you wish for that kind of life, for that destiny, then you must give over your feeling attention. You must keep turning to the spiritual master. In my case, Adida, you can choose your own spiritual master, but you've got to fall in love. You may wish to read and study Adida's teachings relative to this self-contraction and what real God is all about. None of that imaginary nonsense and fantasy nonsense that God is up there somewhere waiting for you to die before he judges you. And of course, you need to have a greater understanding what sin really is, which is this separative act. But until you have understood this separative act as your own doing, this self-contraction as your own doing, this activity, then you won't begin this path of self-transcendence. For what one gets in this heart communion, this divine communion, is a purification, is a release of this self-contraction and the position that it sort of creates in life. I'm superior to you. No, I'm superior to you. That means one's inferior and one's superior. I'm better than you. I'm in control of this. I know best. I'm right and you're wrong. All that's status, that position, those positions in life has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with God, to do with real God. God is simply this wonderful condition without any labels. It was never born and will never die. It's consciousness with a capital C. It's a reality with a capital R. When this becomes your reality, as it has become mine, this open-handed disposition, then every time you turn away from it, you look at you recognize that turning away, you immediately turn back. And there's only happiness, only intimacy. No one belongs to anyone else. You just stand alone as God intended. As I said right at the beginning of this little talk, you have to be prepared to give up all of your egoic nonsense, all of your egoic attachments. So when you're with a plant, with another person, you see clearly. You see clearly if a leaf is wilting or whether it needs watering. There's no me in a superior way at looking at this plant. There is this feeling connection to everything and everyone. It does need some water. And you automatically, in this disposition, you automatically care, you automatically give your attention, you automatically are able to listen, you're automatically able to communicate. All these qualities are God-given qualities. And you become creative, you're allowing God to live you, your hands become God's hands. It really is a wonderful way to live, which is correct. None of that nonsense. Egoic nonsense. That's not to mean I don't contract. I still contract under different circumstances. Andy Dyer used to call it the avoidance of relationship. You have your egoic preferences so that you feel comfortable. But he's asking us to feel comfortable no matter where we are. He's also asking us to sort of be burnt alive. Because there's a heat, you know? For gold to be purified, there has to be heat. So for this nonsense, this clenched fist nonsense, there's this tension, there's often this resistance. And when you're resisting God, then you certainly know, because you start getting hot, you start feeling, oh, I don't want to go there. But no matter what arises in your life, it's part of God's play, the divine play. And if you can participate in that play, then there is only joy and delight. And this came through the post this morning. I avoided reading it. I noticed it, but now I'm here, reading it. There's an intimacy. There's a oneness. Or I might just sort of be scanning it over. I don't need to read every word to get the gist of it. That's sufficient. The most important is the date, because it's a hospital appointment. hopefully having some of my aches and pains sorted out. But there we are. More to transcend. So be prepared. If you really, truly want to take on a spiritual path, then you've got to be prepared to be interfered with by God. Your egoic nonsense. Here's God interfering with your egoic nonsense until you surrendered it. Oh, no, I don't want to surrender. I don't want to surrender. I don't want to surrender. Ah! Ah. Thank you for listening.